Konnichiwa minna. Hello Pokemon trainers. In this video, I want to showcase some of the staples you're going to be needing for your standard decks, which is Scarlet and Violet on. So if you guys would like to see more of these types of videos from me, definitely throw that Pokeball and hit that subscribe button down below. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with Pad, which allows you to shuffle up to 2 supporter cards from your discard pile to your hand. That card is very, very useful because you can only play 1 supporter a turn. So being able to shuffle 2 very important supporter cards to your deck is awesome. So the next one is Super Rod, which says shuffle up to 3 of any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So super good card because recovery is very, very powerful because like if you cannot draw a card at the start of your turn because you run out of cards from your deck to draw, you automatically lose the game. So it's so important to have 1, maybe 2 Super Rod. That way you do not deck out because that sucks. Like of course, switch. Like I use the classic art because you can't go wrong with classic art. Switch, which allows you to switch your active Pokemon with 1 for your bench. Very, very staple card. Most decks run 1 to 2 copies of Switch because you don't want to use your energy to retreat your Pokemon. So the next one is Ultra Ball, super, super powerful card where you get to discard 2 cards from your hand, search your deck for a Pokemon, and add it to your hand. So it could be any Pokemon you want by discarding 2 cards. So super powerful trainer. Most decks run 3 to 4 copies of this card. Next one is Arvin, which is a supporter. Search your deck for an item card and a Pokemon tool card, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Really, really strong supporter because tools are very, very strong. And then, of course, item cards are very, very strong as well. Next is Earthen Vessel. Also a really, really good card. You can only use this card only if you discard another card from your hand. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Super strong trainer card. Next one is Professor's Research. The standard, discard your hand, draw 7. Super, super good card. Like in case you have a bad hand, you could discard it to draw 7. So most decks run 3 to 4 copies of this card. Very, very important. The next one is Nest Ball, where you get to search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Shuffle your deck. So super, super strong card because you want to have Pokemon on your bench. That way you don't bench out. Because like in the Pokemon trading card game, like if a Pokemon is knocked out and if you do not have a Pokemon to replace it with, you automatically lose the game. So Nest Ball is really, really important to keep your bench going. Next is Jamming Tower. This is a stadium where it says Pokemon tools like attached to each Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, have no effect. Super, super strong stadium card because things like the TMs, like TM Evo, is very, very strong. So, like if you have this stadium card out, that means no TMs for you or your opponent. So super strong stadium, like especially like if you don't run like a whole lot of items, it's definitely a good stadium card. Like I also put Carmine in here because like if you go first, you can use this card during your first turn. So like in the Pokemon trading card game, you get to choose whether you go first or second. And if you decide to go first, that means you cannot play a supporter card and you cannot attack. But Carmine basically says, screw that. You can do it. So you can play the supporter on your first turn, which is really strong, which is why I put it here. And then, of course, your technical machine evolution, which allows you to like evolve your Pokemon. Um, this card is attached to super, super strong, especially in stage 2 decks. You really need this TM evolution, which is super cool, like I must say. And then this one is technical machine de-evolution. So you get to de-evolve your opponent's Pokemon. I think it's your opponent's Pokemon. Let me see. The Pokemon this card is attached to can use the attack of this card. You still need the necessary energy to use this attack. This card is attached to one of your Pokemon discarded at the end of your turn. For 1 energy, you can de-evolution, de-evolve each of your opponent's like evolved Pokemon by putting the highest stage card into your opponent's hands. So super good card. Like I said before, being able to de-evolve your opponent's Pokemon is pretty nasty. The next one is Squawkability. Really, really good card where basically you get to discard your hand and draw 6. So super, super strong card. But the downside of this card is that, like, if your opponent has a counter catcher or a boss's order, they can basically put that to the active and knock it out. And that's 2 free prize cards for them. But all in all, really, really good card. Just really risky. And then I also put the Snorunt here, but mostly for the Frostlass, where you get to add up damage counters every single turn for the amount of like ability Pokemon that your opponent has. So super, super strong card, the Frostlass. Um, yeah, adding up damage counters is really, really nasty. So you definitely need that, which I don't have it here to show because I'm pretty sure I have it. I just cannot find it, but that's very, very strong. So the next one is Tatsugiri. For its ability, like attract customers, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 supporter card you find there, put it into your hand, shuffle the other cards back into the deck. So yeah, being able to just get a supporter is just super awesome. But yeah, so the downside of this card is that yeah, your opponent can knock it out, and then that's 1 free prize card for them. But you're basically going to be using it to get your supporters in your hand. The next one, of course, is Boss's Order. Of course, really, really strong card. Most decks run 2 to 3 copies of this card. Being able to take your opponent's Pokemon from the bench and put it into the active is also super strong. This and also Counter Catcher. So the difference between Counter Catcher and Boss's Order is that, of course, Boss's Order is a supporter, which means you could only play 1 supporter a turn. With Counter Catcher, it is a trainer card, but you have to be behind on prizes in order to use it. So most decks run Boss's Order and Counter Catcher for that reason. The next one is Judge. Being able to, like, both players get to shuffle their hands back into their deck and draw 4. That is just really, really strong card. I have seen some decks run Judge because being able to disrupt your opponent is also really, really strong. Oh, so here's another professor's research. So I have explained that. Being able to discard your hand and draw 7 is really good. Like enhanced hammer. So very, very good card. Being able to discard a special energy from your opponent's Pokemon. Really, really strong trainer, like especially back in the day when Lugia V-Star was a thing, because Lugia V-Star was all about the special energy. So this card was really, really nasty against Lugia V-Star, but since that deck is no longer in rotation, you really don't see people play this card, like at least not yet. And then, of course, Switch. I have explained that. So, yeah, those are all of the cards. So, I have mentioned Counter Catcher, really, really strong card. Like Iono is also a big one, which is basically like N from Black and White. Basically, you and your opponent get to shuffle both hands back into their decks, and then you draw equal to the remaining amount of prize cards. So really good card. Like especially if you have more prize cards than your opponent. So basically, you can take that big hand and shuffle it back in, and then they get to draw less cards. So very nasty. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about this video down below. And also, if there's any staple cards that I am missing for the standard format, please let me know, because I'm pretty sure that there is more than you have seen like in this video. And also, I also do Pokemon TCG deck reviews, both standard and GLC. So, like if you would like me to take a look at your deck, please definitely send your deck list at my email, which is jumbotanzania18@yahoo.com, which I will put it in the description of this video and also in the comments. So, yeah, guys, I will see y'all next time. Matane!